Hey guys, it's me Karthik. Hope you guys are doing really good. So in this video, we are going to talk about URI components builder implementation in Spring Boot. How to implement an REST API when there is a query parameter or filtering API implementation that we are going to discuss from the scratch. So I have this fake API which is returning me the user ID where it is equal to 1, which you could see here I have highlighted. I'll try to put this link in the description, guys. So I have taken this one and I have tried to hit from the postman. Okay, and this is a get call, guys. When I hit this, I could get the response like this, where user ID is equal to 1 all the places. Okay, now let me try to change user ID to something like 2 and hit the API again. Now you could see I am getting the user ID 2 values. That means from all the resources in a server, it is filtering out the resources which are matching to this condition. Here the condition is user ID is equal to 2. That's why it is called filtering API. Okay, also we can call this as a query parameter. Okay, so query parameters, how to identify in your end URL, whatever having the question mark, after question mark, if you have something that is called query parameter. You can observe the same thing with Google as well. Something like if you just type here hello world, you could see here in the top this one. Okay, q is equal to this itself. The q is nothing but the query parameter in this case. Okay, so how to implement this in Spring Boot? These are nothing but what? These are nothing but external RESTful services, right? So how we can hit this and how we can get the response in the backend, that we'll see here. Okay, so we'll start from the scratch. What are the things we needed here? We need input. In this case, input is nothing but user ID, right? So input, we need output. That means we need to map the output objects properly. So in this case is user ID, title and body, right? So this POJO we are going to prepare. Then we have the controller, that endpoint we are going to prepare. Then we have the service, our service IMPL. Okay, this is a proper structure, guys, so that we are going to follow here. Okay, so we already have the input, so we don't need to worry much. Now let's focus on the output, guys. So in this case, if I see here, this is the JSON object, right? So in this scenario, I have user ID, I have ID and title, body. And if you observe here, ID is having value 1. Others and user ID is also 1. Others are text fields, and ID and user ID are nothing but the number fields. So ID and user ID I'll try to use long, and others I'll use the string fields. Okay, so I'll prepare the bin accordingly. So I have this output folder here. I'll try to prepare my bin. Simply right click and new class. Here my class is nothing but user ID details, something like this I am taking, guys. Here I'll keep data. Data is nothing but the Lombok data I am using, so I don't need to prepare the getters and setters here. So I am hoping that you people have already configured the Lombok. If not, then you have to simply use the setters and getters. Okay, so if you see here, all of them are in a small case, so simply I use private long user ID, private long ID, private string title, and what is body we have it, so private string body. Okay, so this is nothing but my one JSON object, right? So this is done. So we have completed the first two. and the controller part will implement now. So for this I have the package called controller here, and I'll use a separate so this controller is nothing but a class, right? So I'll use a separate class here. So this is nothing but fake API controller. This is a REST controller, right? REST controller and request mapping. I'll give something like fake, and let's import these two, REST controller and request mapping. Okay, now I'll simply use one get method here. So here at the rate request mapping value is equal to something like query IMPL, and method is equal to methods dot get. Let's see here, I forgot. So method is equal to request method. So here it's request method dot get. So write public void something like query param IMPL. Okay, now let's try to import this request method. Okay, value I have and request method I have. Okay, here I have something like param string user ID. Okay, and this param, okay, so I have something like query param. Okay, I don't have it here. I'll do one thing. Here. Simply I will pass request param. So I have the request param here, string user ID. Okay, and my response is nothing but user ID details that I will try to map slowly. Okay, so this is my controller method. Now coming to my service method, I will take one interface here. This is a standard, guys, so which is optional. You can directly implement in service IMPL, but I like using this. I is nothing but the interface. I am creating an interface. This interface I am implementing in my service IMPL. Okay, so I have I, and here fake service. Okay, so this one something like public, and let's keep as of now void fake service query IMPL. Let me take something like this, string user ID. Okay, and here these are my details, right? So user ID, so user ID string I am returning. Okay, not string, sorry, user ID array, because this is nothing, the response is nothing but string array, right? Complete string array. There you have the string objects. So likewise I have created this one. Now I need to have the service IMPL. in the service impl package, I'll create a class called fake service impl. Okay, here I will take a annotation called service, and here I will take fake service impl. Okay, and this one goes here. Fake service impl is in the double quotes, and this service impl actually going to implements fake service. Okay, now add unimplemented methods. I will get everything here, right? This particular thing I am going to auto wire in my controller. So this is my controller, right? So here @ auto wire, here fake service is nothing but go here and copy this name. In the controller you mention it here. Okay, so I have auto wired this. Now I need to use this here to fake service. I have the user ID. Okay, now this method, let me update the output properly. Okay, user ID details. User ID is equal to ID away. Okay, this one I will return here. Okay, for the verification purpose, what I'll do is, actually you should have logs, guys. Since I don't have the logs yet, I'm using sysout here. So the size is I'll use something like size is here, user ID dot length. Okay, now here let me add one more sysout, something like start off. These are our logs, guys, for user ID. So it's easy for us to verify when there is some issue happens. Okay, user ID, and here another sysout I will put something like end of this method name for user ID. Okay, now Control Shift F to format. Now get into this fake service impl. So this is all until now we just set up. Now we will try to use this UriComponents builder. Okay, so here I have UriComponents builder, something like builder is equal to UriComponents builder. Okay, from HTTP URL. Okay, I will show that. Okay, so I will take something like a string URL is equal to until the post I will take, guys, but question mark I will remove. So this is my post. Okay, this one I will use here. So I am preparing a components builder from the URL. Now builder dot query param. This is very important, guys. Query param, and you have to copy this as it is, user id. Okay, user id, and the value user id. Okay, let me keep to differentiate. I'll keep this as user id value. Okay, user id value. Okay, now here simply use build. Now I need to have the REST template here, so I will auto-write that auto-write REST template of REST template, because I am going to hit the external API, right? So REST template auto-write okay, this is nothing but REST template. I am going to use get for entity, right? So this is what I need. Get for entity builder, that is nothing but URI component builder to URI, here little bit careful guys, to URI string, and the response how it is coming. Response is nothing but my user id details, right? So user id details dot class. Okay, so this is what it is. This is nothing but response entity user id response entity. This response entity will come here and import the response entity. I need to import this. Just a minute guys, my mouse is not working properly here, that is a problem. So guys, this is the one. Since my mouse is not working properly, it took me some time. Okay, so I have this response entity now. Let's try to do one thing here, put a logger. So in my case I am doing this, so something like status code is, so I have resp entity dot get status code value, and sysout response body is equal to response body is simply I will use resp entity dot get body here. Okay, so user id details array is nothing but user id array is equal to resp entity resp entity dot get body. Okay, now I will return this one here. Okay, and another log I will use here, something like end of for user id value. Okay, and user id, you can put everything in try catch as well, guys. Now what I will do is I'll go to my main here and I will try to run this as a Spring Boot app. Let's see it's starting or not. Now you could see it is started at the port 8080, right? So I will have localhost 8080. Okay, here I will try to frame. Simply I will have localhost 8080. After that, go to the controller once. So where is the controller here? So this is the one. So /fake /query impl. Okay, here in params I will have, so in request param I have user id. So user id is equal to, let's say 1, and try to hit this. Now you could see we got the response properly, right? Let me keep this as 10, guys. I have the response properly, right? Now what I will do is, just for the entertainment purpose, I will use something like JSON ignore properties. Okay, I will try to comment this body. Okay, now I will again rerun this. So here it started again. Now if I hit this, now you could see that body it's not there, right? So this is how we can use the query parameters, guys, simply using the REST URI component builder. Okay, so I hope this video is informative for you guys. If you have any doubt, do let me know in a comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.